Hi, I'm Alex Archbold, and I've been buying and selling antiques since I was 9 years old. From basements to scrapyards, I'll look just about anywhere I can to find lost antiques and collectibles. And sometimes I'll go big and buy everything. With my wife and kids, we run an antique shop in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, filled with some of the most unique items we can find. I never know what's going to happen or who I'm going to meet. This is our life, this is our adventure, and this is Curiosity Inc.
I'm home, honey.
Hey guys, and welcome back. Well, on last episode, I started moving a bunch of shelves around in my store and took a bunch of things to auction. And let's hope that that sale goes well. But today I'm back at the shop, and it actually snowed last night. And yes, it's early spring here, and we still have snow, and that'll probably last for a little while longer. I have a bunch of rearranging to do today. I think I bit off more than I can chew at the shop. But, at least I've got some time to deal with it, and I don't have to open the doors like tomorrow. So there's that. So let's go inside. I got to shovel off the walk here, and then we'll start doing a little redecorating at the shop. The goal this morning is to move this cabinet over to that wall right there. And I've cleared all the pictures off of it. It's a little heavy and cumbersome for me to do on my own, and I don't want to tip that over and bust it like I did this cabinet the other day. So I've got some recruits coming, at least one helper coming to help me move this thing a little bit. So I've got to empty out the case and get it as light as possible so it's not as heavy to push around. I think I see my helper now. Oh, did I lock her out? Wiggle your way in.
Wow, that's good.
I told you I was doing stuff.
Stuff is right.
There's a little path this way, right through there.
Hold on.
I know, I told you I ripped the store apart. This is what I've been doing. Thank you for coming to help out. I got it all emptied out, ready to go.
Is there stuff under this?
Oh, there might be. I have no idea. Something,
Hi, Tiger.
the showcase fell over, one of them.
No, it didn't. Why didn't you wait for me?
No, that was yesterday, it fell over. Okay, I'll show you. This is why I called you today, because I learned from yesterday. So how's the store look?
It looks like where we go to pick.
Well, it'll look better once I'm all done. I have faith. So if you wind your way through the back. Okay.
Sorry, I'm making tracks, I think.
That's okay, don't worry about it.
Holy moly. Alexander.
I know. Well, we've got this downtime. We may as well do something with it. That's the cabinet there. The one right in front of us. That's the one we're moving.
Oh, at least it looks light.
It's not that bad. That has to go against that wall.
The green wall.
Yeah, so let's...
Are you going to still be able to access that plug?
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I don't need to, though, because I'm plugging the showcase into it. Okay, so Muscle's over there wearing... This is a good combination. It's cold outside. You got winter boots and like a tank top, because you're optimistic. You're halfway ready for sunshine. That's good. So Melissa, aka Muscles Archbold over there, what did we discover?
Well, as we're pulling it over here, I walked around with my fire marshal at my work, and because this door opens inward, there's no way that this is going to pass, because this is our fire door. Even though we don't use it for the business, we need to be able, if there was an emergency, to have people be able to get out.
Yeah, and right now it opens, but it would get impeded by this little spot right here. So we're gonna find a new home for it. But you're here to help, so all is well with the world.
Yep.
Okay, there. Fits on the wall, and it doesn't even block the window. It's pretty much just perfectly lined up. I'm gonna do a little rearranging with what's going on over there, but that's out of the way. And the reason why I'm moving these showcases is that I want to open up this main area here. I want it to be nice and open so I can put some bigger objects, maybe some furniture and stuff, which I haven't been able to do. So shelves and showcases have to go against the wall to create this open concept I want in the back room. So that's kind of step one. I have created just an absolute mess for myself. Everything's all over the place. You wouldn't know it looking around that I actually worked in interior design for a summer. Yeah, this place looks like a hot mess right now, but that's going to change. And my vision for what this store will become is going to be nothing less than amazing and cool. and it gives me a chance to really redo and redecorate. But I don't like where Melissa and I put the shelf, so I'm not going to tell her, but I'm going to have to move it again. But this time I'll have to do it by myself, and I've got a sore back right now. I guess we'll just do it one little inch at a time and get it moved over in place. Slowly piecing together this side of the shop, and I wanted to do sort of my glassware in the window because it's gets a little bit of extra light and shine off of that. And then out of the sunlight, of course, we'll start with the records and books and media. You know, a cozy little spot. I might put the Morris chair over there so somebody can sit down and kind of have a look through a book. Still have all that to deal with, but I realize I can't do much here until I start organizing the front of the store, because some of the product back there has to go up front. So I've grabbed some cleaning supplies. I'm gonna wipe things down, and I'm gonna get things ready and really start getting the showcases up in the front decorated and more or less ready to go. I used to have all of my t-shirts and hats up on the table, which was right here, but that table's gone, and this is soon to be filled in with something else. I've decided to use my really nice antique lawyer's bookcase and do the t-shirts kind of folded and put out there. And you can see why I got the cleaning supplies, because it's a little bit dusty in there, and I don't want to put nice clean clothing on dusty shelves. So we're gonna get that all cleaned up, fold it, organize it, put it away, and I think it'll look pretty nice. And I'm really still not used to, I guess, waking up in the morning and not having a regular job to go to. So we're making the best of it, and we're keeping busy. And I'm hoping at some point customers will be able to come back in and shop, and they'll have something really surprising and amazing to show them. I'm just going to press forward, and that's what you got to do. In the meantime, though, I've got my t-shirts just about ready. Okay, set that down there. And something kind of like that. I'll probably have to refold some of these because they're not as tidy as I'd like. But you get the idea. You have some shirts, you've got some hats. It fit perfectly, two across with the hats on the right. So if you like Cessnas or the Canadian Air Force, I'm very Canada-centric, obviously, because we're in Canada. This is a pretty handy-dandy little display. I have a little stand I'm going to put here, which is where I usually keep my loose 1/64 scale cars, because I'm going to do more of a toy presentation of vintage and antique toys in the front of the shop here. I'll go grab that in a bit, but I've been trying to clear a path here so I can get our good friend Zoltar back into position. I'm putting him right here where this big empty space is, but I haven't been able to get him over here because, well, I piled everything else in front. So slowly but surely we're making room. Next up, put Zoltar away. At least he's on wheels. You're easy to push, Zoltar. At least that's one thing he's got going for him. Okay, I think he can live right about there at the front of the shop. That should be just fine. He's not in the way of the window, so all is good. The first case I'm going to work on is this guy right here. I want to display some old Dinky and Corgi toys, steam engines, all sorts of fun vintage and antique toys are going to wind up in this case. I do have some already in the case that's behind it, but I think that this little area will be sort of my antique toy zone, these few cases here, and add a little bit of fun and levity to the front of the store. But I've got to go around and collect all the other bits and pieces, as I've got kind of collectible toys all over the place, you know, from in here in the kitchen to in the back room. I'm going to start with the back room though, because it's priority for me to get this in the front done. 1950s Mark's tractor. Well, the farmer's lost an arm. Hopefully not in like a combining accident, but he's lost his arm. But it does have the box though, so that'll look good up at the front. There's a nice Lionel Disneyland Railway set that can go up at the front. I basically want to keep the actual antique stuff up at the front of the shop. I say antique, but really these are considered more vintage or collectible. For it to be an antique, technically it should be 100 years old or older, which I do have a lot of that stuff in the store, but we do sell a lot of collectibles too. That's part of the antiques and collectibles side of the business. I can't complain too much though, because even though I am working and I'm setting up showcases, I'm doing it with really cool toys. So even a hard day at work is still kind of a fun day at work when you have a store like this. Showcase is starting to fill up. I'm getting the slot cars put in. I never actually saw an SPV slot car before. That's kind of a neat one from the British TV show. All the HO AFX slot cars kind of going up at the front, and then I'll put some bigger things at the back just so people can see it easily from the other side. And you always want to make sure you put the taller stuff at the back so that when we're looking at it, it kind of creates a nice backdrop. But let's continue to fill up and see what it looks like from the other side. Well, it's certainly looking full. I am going to have to clear off the top of this counter and turn the lights on before it'll actually have full effect. I even have original Ninja Turtles still in their packaging. Just kind of a fun little case. And I'll before I get to revamping the other side, I'm going to work on this case here. Because I cleared out some of my Star Wars toys to auction, I'm going to fill this with steam engines. And this is sort of my little steam display. Just a few steam engines in here. Actually, I had quite a bit more than this at one point. I've sold probably half of them down by now, but I keep finding them, and so they keep coming in. They are really neat, though. Starting to get the automotive case set up. So you see I've got it by the gas pump and some of the clocks. We've got some oil cans, replica tether car, little CMC models. I've moved a lot of the automobilia, and of course, all the little badges. These are vintage. That's a license plate topper for a motorcycle from Daytona Beach. There's car club badges, motor league badges and things. This was cool too. Not many people may know, but they made a Case automobile. Now, Case mainly known for building tractors, but this is a brochure for the Case automobile. So they stepped outside of making threshing machines, and it was a very decent car, but I think they only made it for a couple of years and then it wasn't viable. But that's kind of a cool piece of history. And neat that this one is, I think it's labeled, yeah, Canadian edition. So that's much more unique and rare than where they were more mass produced in the States. Found a spot for the showcase that I had in the other room. It's probably long overdue, but I've decided to bring it into the art room, put something special inside. Decided to turn this showcase into a place for Mary's art. And it's nice knowing that now her artwork is in good company with her friends and colleague. Right behind me there, we've got Josh, of course, and Les Graff up at the top, who was a mentor and co-worker of Mary's for many years. This is one room that's almost done, but now I've got to probably call it a day. It's been a long one. I've still got a lot more work to go. The back room here is coming along. I'll show you what I've been up to. I've taken out the center showcases. Still have a whole bunch of mess in the middle of the floor, but that'll clean up next time. The table was brought to the back here, and it is going to work. Oh wait, this thing's in the way. It's going to work as a place for me to put some of my trade simulators and slot machines and kind of showcase some of those pieces. Also, now I have a little bit more room. I can lay out the die-cast cars and some of the pop culture toys a little bit nicer back here too. This is from that big collection that we got the other day. There's all sorts of different makes and models here. At least there's a good variety. I'll see if I can flip these guys around so you can see the front kind of like that. But again, that's work probably for next time. As for the front of the store, I've got my t-shirts and hats all in place on the bookshelf, and I've decided to put the socks kind of right by it because it makes sense if you're sort of like in the little clothing department here. Next to it, we've got lots of vintage toy cars, Matchbox, and where are they? Hot Wheels and things like that. People like to sift through and see if there's something to buy. I've got to fill these back up again. And I can almost walk around the front of the store. We got a lot of the stuff out of the way now that Zoltar is back in his home over there, but there's still lots to do. I've made some good progress. There's a long way to go. So I think I'm going to call it a day. That's it for today's episode. tune in next time, and hopefully on the next episode I'll tear through and get the rest of this done. It's been an awful lot of work, more than I thought. You know, initially you just go to move a couple of showcases, then you move this and move that, and then, well, heck, before you know it, you've moved around the whole store. So this is going to be kind of a complete makeover, but I'm excited to show you what it looks like when it's all done. And hopefully the goal here is to get my counters all cleaned up and make it a much more shoppable and usable space. So thank you for watching this week's episode. We'll see you all soon. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and bye for now.